Well, welcome once again to the Greater Derrysland Facebook group page. The Gospel reading today is that wonderful Gospel from St. John chapter 21 verses 1 to 14, where we find the apostles have gone back to their old ways. They've gone fishing. We have that wonderful beach barbecue as the outcome. Well, the apostles had followed Christ for 3 years for many of them, and they had a roller coaster of a ride. They'd walked into the city on that wonderful Palm Sunday, and suddenly things became chaotic. Christ was taken away from them, crucified and dead. They'd gone back to their own ways, the road to Emmaus, but we had hoped. They turned back to their old ways, uncertain, fearful of what to do. And on this occasion we see the apostles had turned to their old livelihood of fishing, and unfortunately for them, not a very successful night fishing and that. They fished all night and then suddenly nothing at all, and we are told that just before dawn, as dawn broke, we so often realise that it's always the darkest before dawn, that Christ appeared on the shore, told them to cast their net on the other side. Maybe Christ had a view from above, looking down and could see shoals of fish. They didn't know it was Christ first of all, and suddenly the penny dropped. And with great joy, they all realised in their hearts who the stranger was. The net was full. Simon Peter jumped into the water. They all came ashore and they enjoyed that wonderful beach barbecue. They shared a meal with Christ. Well, there must have been pure elation in their hearts. They must have been grinning from year to year. He's back. Christ is with us. Any uncertainty, fear, had all diminished. Christ was back with them. They might not have been completely certain about their future, what they were to do, but whatever it was, they knew that Christ was with them. I've always felt that this must have been a great turning point in the early church. Well, I wonder if the situation we find ourselves in now is a turning point. A turning point for the world, and certainly a turning point for the church. We will all face new challenges. The world will have new challenges. How can we work together better? How can we work together to ensure the safety and well-being of all people? Maybe we should learn now to settle our differences in this world and to make this planet a far better place. Maybe we should learn to get back to the basics of simply showing each other a little bit of respect, a little bit of appreciation, and to value the gifts and contributions of others. As a church, there'll be huge challenges ahead of us. How we worship from now on. We've certainly learnt that technology will probably now play a great part. Media mic, well, I've never come across such things in my life until now. But Reverend Diana and myself have spoken about the possibility of how we should now use this and incorporate it into our community worship. For example, we could record a service either live or beforehand on a Sunday morning, which could be used by a variety of people, for those who are unable to come to church for whatever reason, that they can watch and use the form of worship at the time which is best convenient for an individual. How do we worship in a church with social distancing? There will indeed be new challenges ahead. But at the end of the day, like those early disciples of Christ, we know that Christ is with us. Yes, times indeed may seem dark and bleak, as it did for those early apostles, but there is a new dawn. Words in the Old Testament reading today from the book of Isaiah state, "Trust in the Lord forever, for the Lord is an everlasting rock." Trust in the Lord forever, for the Lord is an everlasting rock. Well, I'm sure we're all aware that for many of us, the situation that we've endured over these last few weeks, and we're not quite certain when this will come to an end, have been frightening. It's often said that a brave man is not the one who is never scared, but the one who knows he is scared and gets on with what has to be done, despite of his fear. It is indeed human and healthy to be sad, to be low, to be fearful, to be angry if the situation warrants it. But it's also human to be hopeful, to hold on to memories of the past and to look forward, to have a vision of a golden future, of better things to come. Well, those early apostles, those disciples, that day they went out fishing, laboured all night. They must have felt low and depressed. The situation made it even worse that nothing was caught. Christ to them, they thought had been killed. What were they to do? Go back fishing? And then, when the situation was at its worst, at its most bleak of moments, suddenly Christ appeared to them. And I suppose it's entirely human that we should at times feel low, dispirited, fearful, angry. But often in such situations, we can find ourselves being led to God. When the disciples were at their lowest ebb, they saw a stranger on the shore. They heard his voice, they shared a meal with him. Mother Julian of Norwich said, "All shall be well, and all shall be well, and all manner of things shall be well." Let us pray and look forward with great hope to the future. Let us continue to remember all those in the NHS who are working so hard, such a variety of frontline workers who are doing their best for us. Let us place our trust and hope with God in their hands. This is Mike saying all the best. I remember you each week in my prayers. So until we can meet again in person, all my love, take care and look after yourselves with great hope for the future.